Hey boys, good evening. What do we have here? I think I've been away from Warhammer 3. It must be like 30, 31, 32 days. The patch hasn't been released yet, but they got the full patch notes. I think the patch note is coming tomorrow. I like to check the patch notes when they already made the changes in the game, so you can see some of this. And I'm ready for the patch notes. Got me a bottle of rakia. That's how you should start the patch notes and come back to Warhammer with booze. We're gonna review the patch notes. The patch is still 5.2.7, and at least 7 hot fixes. Holy shit! 7 hot fixes, and they still can't patch determined. Okay, well, let's see what's going on. Yeah, I got some Schliowitz. It's the, I think English name for it, it's like plum brandy. Plum spirit. Its English name, plum spirit. We call it the Schliowitz or rakia od šljive. Cookie says, why would they need to patch signature trait of the whole franchise? Cheers, Cookies. I hope you're drinking too. Ah, that's 2 shots. I think the bottle has 3. Hello everyone, Mitch here, design director on Total War Warhammer 3, back with another dev blog, this time for patch 5.3. Oh man, get rid of this Warhammer 3 music, man. Give me some good stuff. Let's go back to nostalgia. Back when things were good. Okay. We need to take a short channel point redemption. That's in the gray area with the Twitch, I think. But there can be celebration shots or depression shots, depending. Just call it something else. When I started streaming back in the day, drinking on stream for with viewer interaction was in a real like gray area. But I was doing like drinking stream for a couple of months, and then I had a message from, I'm not sure who she was. Maybe I was a Twitch person at the time, to discontinue doing this. We had like option for killer shots. We had like shots on a timer while playing a horror game, and then killer shots would be without the timer. And some of these streams were like from sober to instant drunk within 10 minutes. Okay, let's see. This time for page 5.3, in the picture on the page are the ogres. The Skrak here and his pals. When's the end stream redemption? You wanna end the stream? Don't measure, why so toxic? First Warhammer 3 stream this month and you wanna end it already. Don't you even have like a trunk of hopium? I'm disappointed. I forgot to get some water. This is not beer back here. Not existing. Is that beer back? Be right back to get some water. Because rakia is not water. I'm not stalling him here. Why end stream? L is a patient stream at this point. At this point, I literally stream whatever pays the most. I don't even care anymore. Somebody want to finance some game to play? Just bring it on, man. Total War, Mamba Jamba Jibber Jabber, League of Legends, Fortnite. Bring it on, man. Whatever pays the most, I'll stream it. Had enough. Where are we at? Having now seen your reaction to patch 5.2, I can say it's been really wonderful. It was inspiring to see all your reaction to the new content. Let's increase this bit, huh? Reworks and fixes, and in particular excited for the future of the game. I'm excited for the future of the game. As long as that future is not determined. Or short-lived. Speaking of the future, we already well underway with patch 5.3, and so I'll walk you through the changes and additions coming as part of our next patch. Before touching on the topic of game balance, as well as taking the chance to acknowledge some of the feedback we have seen following 5.2 and a recent dev chat video where, among other things, we asked for more of your thoughts. Something tells me that the DLC is far from finished. Something tells me the DLC is far from finished. This picture will not be seen easily, I think. Okay, there you go. And so I'll walk you through the changes and additions coming as part of our next patch. Before that, touching on the topic of game balance, as well as taking the chance to acknowledge some of the feedback we've seen following. Okay. Where, among other things, we asked some more of your thoughts. This is CA Pingu. Imagine they just start trolling and, you know, make determined like +5 leadership. Can you imagine this? At this point, only two things can happen to determined. One, complete removal from the game. Good riddance, one less shit rate in the pool. And second, to make it one of the best rates in the game. Nothing less than these two options will work. But CA, you know, classic, gonna do like put that leadership to +6 and call the day. When confident exists, which grants the character 12 leadership in the entire army, 2 leadership. Okay, your feedback. So this was happening a week ago. We've asked a few times and in a few places for more of your feedback because it helps us shape what we do, and I think we owe it to you where possible to highlight where this impacts us and what decisions we actually make because of your feedback. You know what this tells me? Them taking feedback and they're talking so much about this feedback like such an important part of the game. It almost tells me like not only they have no idea what they're doing anymore, but they don't even have enough people to do what's right anymore. So basically, they just get a guy to read the piles of text, and they just picks whatever looks the best and try to implement it in the game. On our feel quite strongly about ourselves. It's important to know that that list wasn't exhaustive yet illustrative of some of the things we'd like to tackle. Something else we noted in the video was that not everything you asked for is going to be possible in patches, with a notable example of being new characters. This takes a huge amount of time and effort and much great portion of team's involvement to create compared to anything else we do. That's why you'll find new lords and characters in our DLC and also release for free alongside them. Just as you will for our next release. Creating them as a part of DLC allows us the lead time we need to do all the work to model and animate them, bring in the voice actors, etc. It's just not feasible for the patches, and that's why we wanted to set your expectations with this for our interim updates. Moving back to the topic of your feedback, one of our major pages we see consistently in the game balance that this topic is multifaceted and can all really apply to most aspects of the game. They need to have a team on this active, working 24/7 to adjust and keep note of things, and not just make change for the sake of changes just so the game feels different for a couple of weeks or months. But in particular, I want to let you know we have heard your feedback loud and clear on both the public control and corruption systems, and we agree with you. When such core systems aren't performing like you want them to, it can understandably have a big impact on the challenge the game provides. The public order and control has always been a joke. Another topic with here feedback on, and so both these items are high priority for us to tackle down going forward, albeit not in patch 5.3. They did such a lazy gamey change when it comes to control. I don't have too much information to share just yet on what our plans are with these features, but the complexity of dealing with both of these mechanics is larger than you might think. They are both core game systems that affect every single race in the game, and each faction relationship with this can be and often is unique. It's only a little unique for just a couple of factions. They just need to take a feedback from like 20 the most experienced players and see what they have to say. Implement the main input with the community, let them vote what would fit the best, and then make their own decision what to put and what not to put. But every faction having some good benefit on high control and some major penalty on low control is the way to go, not just limited to some factions. Well, the corruption system should be like the core game, and it should be punishing or rewarding, and not just something you ignore. An example would be, the high elves get the bonus to taxes, amongst a couple other things on max control, while dark elves lower the consumption of slaves. Like every faction has something like this on connected to their control, so managing control actually is rewarding or punishing, and not just something you ignore. I want to keep just to the point where it's not adding tedium to the game, as in excessive rebellions, which are basically beneficial to the game, but get to the point where they create tedium without any further other benefits, because those benefits are only short-lived, because after that point you don't even need those resources provided by those rebellions as in the form of experience items and better loot. So it's not enough for us to say control is too easy system to manage, and that will increase all negative sources, for example. So that might improve one faction situation and make this system more challenging, but may ruin another's. Each race, and this is just like just bunch of excuses, because there's too much in the game, and they don't want to really work on too much anymore. They just want to focus on one or two things and dump the work to another project after. It's just a bunch of excuses. They just don't want to work on the game anymore, what I see, because there's so much to it. They have so much money from it, and they don't want to work on it anymore. But they expect to get paid still. That's how it sounds to me. For example, that might improve one faction situation and make the system more challenging, but may ruin another's. Each race, in some case, the specific factions needs to be considered and how they currently interact with these systems and then balance accordingly. One faction that might mean too many positive sources from the technology tree, for others may mean their building tree provides too many bonus and so on. They're just saying, you know, excuses because there's so much, but they also released so much and we paid so much. It is expected for them to keep working on it, right? That's what happens when a couple of guys are trying to manage a massive game and keep releasing new content instead of keeping the whole game, you know, under a magnifying glass at the same time. They just keep adding stuff without looking at the picture as a whole. They have asked so much money from their community and the player base. It's only natural they give something back. Hire a couple more people and put some work and effort. So without going into too much detail, I want us to be thorough and take a really deep look at both of these systems. There are long-standing Total War features, and I think they suffer from a legacy of being carried from game to game without a real deep dive into what their place in the game actually entails. I agree with that. I could and probably will write further dev blogs on these topics closer to when we begin to make progress. So they can suddenly fill up an entire blog with just me generating some initial design thoughts, let alone a detailed overview. So in summary, there's a lot of work required to tackle these issues across the whole game. It's a challenge we're up for, and I want to thank you for your feedback and asking to make this a high priority. Just stay tuned for more on that in future patches. The developers in this day and age have some of the probably easiest and hardest jobs at the same time, because they can hire a new guy and a couple of interns under that guy. That guy's interns can literally just scour the internet for information people want, communicate with these people on how to adjust this accordingly, and then communicate with the guy who they hired and those interns to work for, and implement this into the game, which devs and both the community can be happy at the same time. But just a bunch of excuses otherwise instead of get to work. If they only had a couple of people like these content creators, you know, on YouTube, you know, just giving real feedback to them, the people who have played hundreds of campaigns, and one guy actually that understands this feedback, who actually played the game at their company, you know, this will go a huge way in making Mortal Empires a much better campaign. Because sometimes I feel like they're just doing changes for the sake of the changes, because, you know, people are getting, you know, the game's getting stale. 3 to 5 months of the same shit happening in the campaign. We gotta just shift some numbers left and right, make sure the spectrum is always, you know, unpredictable. So people will have to play another 10 to 20 campaigns just to figure out what the fuck we just do. And sometimes those changes could be so minuscule that you might play another 20 campaigns and you see not difference. You know, they just basically put you under the illusion they are making changes, while they do nothing for the game, other than just adding more bloat to the game. Or making things worse. Like, they made things worse several times during the patching Warhammer 3. Just one last thing on the topic of game balance before we dive into the patch 5 changes. I want to mention quickly the Ancillary rebalance I have talked about in a previous developer video. We intended for this to be a part of patch 5.3, but it now won't be. So the tournament stays, boys. Can you imagine the Ancillary rebalance happens and the tournament stays in this shape and form? Human psychology does next to nothing since they started patching Warhammer 1. It only works in the most base of the environments, in the nail-biter battles and multiplayer. It's a boring stat that something better should be happen instead of the tournament. I'm getting me drink number 3. This is the sweet spot. 3 drinks in 30 minutes. I have had CA people talk to me, assuring me that my feedback was important, that I should not stop giving my feedback to them. I've talked to these people directly, and they were assuring me that they were important. Meanwhile, they were saying one thing and they were doing something else. Fucking wasting my time and just wanted to make everything, you know, they wanted to keep control in check while doing nothing. This was back in 2018. Literally assuring me that my feedback is important, that I should give giving them my feedback, that they're always reading it, checking it, thinking about what to do with it. Meanwhile, month after month after month, a year later, doing nothing about it. They were not taking any of the people seriously other than exploiting them for their influence. That's what the people were to them, just being exploited for their influence. They did change their tune a bit. I think it started happening this year. Might have started happening late this year because they fucked up hard. I think it might have started happening last year, and they're doing it more this year. So this might be the first time they're actually doing this thing in over 8 years, 8.5 years this series has been released. They fucked up so bad last year, so bad, that they had no other choice than to finally open channels with the community again. I think for the first time in over 8 years of Warhammer series, they're actually taking feedback. I can say with a certainty, it feels like they're taking it, and it shows they're taking it. And hopefully some of the damage gets fixed and some improvements actually get delivered for the first time in the history of Warhammer 3 or the Warhammer series. But Warhammer 3 needs it more than Warhammer 2 and Warhammer 1 needed it. Because Warhammer 3 is the largest of the 3 games, and it lately, to some people, probably feels bloated at this point. Definitely feels like that to developers. It's bloated, and they're just giving us a bunch of excuses that there's too much work, too complicated, and they don't have enough people to do it. So they keep going with these excuses. So this excuse is basically just telling me not to expect much. They're working on some stuff, but it's not gonna be what people want in the big picture, I think. If they started doing this like at the start of 2023, some significant changes might have happened on time. But the entire year with the Shadows of Change and the Chaos Dwarfs into all the way into the Elspeth and Malachi DLC, it literally like an entire year of progress was just like minimal effort. So bloat can be good, but they have to keep their shit together, and they have to know where to address it so it doesn't get out of control. They added so much to the game, and they don't seem to want to keep working on the game unless it pays. So they want to keep adding more stuff because more stuff will pay. And fixing some of this bloat and polish does not pay, so they are doing just really minimal effort around that. And they're just giving us these constant excuses that it's all too much and they can't do all of it. And on one hand, they're saying they're working on it, they're taking feedback, we get walls of text, patch notes, hotfix, stuff like this. But once you get into the game and start playing the game, what they shown on paper could be entirely opposite in the game, not for the better, but for the worse. It's not better per se, it's different. And different could be better, but could also be worse. So I hate it when they say improved, fixed. They never improve or fix anything. They change things. And these changes could be for the better. We're always hoping for this whole battle. That's why we have the hopium. But during the course of Warhammer 3, a lot of the changes were for the worse. I just hated how they call it improvements, fixes and stuff like this, when they're just making things a little bit different. Changing the scripts, changing the behaviors. And it's clear since they started messing up with the player focus and the AI distance, what we call it, zone operations. That's what I call it. I'm not sure how they call it, but in my book, it's a zone operations. Basically, it's an area of the map where the AI is most active, and once they reach a certain size, they are no longer active if they are observed by the player. This is what I call zone of operations. And this has been fucked up hard in the Warhammer 3 to the point where we don't see any big threats anymore that we've seen in Warhammer 2, and the player focus is almost non-existent beyond the borders of the initial 3 provinces. They've messed up this thing majorly. Huge mess. Huge mess. And we have this conflicting scenario where for the AI to progress and to offer a challenge to the player, they cannot be seen. And since the player knows this, if you watch this stream, you guys knows we have little knowledge of the universe, and it kind of makes us jaded. We know that they'll become powerful if we don't observe them. But why would we want to shoot ourselves in the foot by not observing them? And even if we do this, we'll discard them later, the AI might have gotten to the point of size, about 25-30 regions, where their zone operation has hit limit. They might have military that will do some border gore with the player, but never do anything serious to us into expand over into the player territory and grab just all those territories. They'll just send a couple of armies, do a couple of battles, and there'll be a peace treaty again. So if you don't know, it might hurt you, as in you're gonna have surprise military in the border. But this type of things should be unpredictable. It should not be a thing you learn and use to your advantage, because this is what makes the game not very replayable. It hurts the replay value. We need unpredictable, powerful AI that sometimes just goes for the land grabs and not just sends a couple of armies on the border and that's it. Like I had a scenario where the Empire sent 7 to 9 armies in a couple of turns. We smacked several of them. They couldn't grab any of the territories, didn't want to grab some of the territories. We were a weaker faction, and they still backed off instead of taking our territories and gaining advantage. And from my vast experience of the game, it just seemed to me the AI just wants to initiate and engage in a conflict with the player in Warhammer 3, but doesn't want to do anything about it beyond that. Unless you're in their zone operations, they will never really, if they win those battles, player usually just quit. But if they lose those battles, it's gonna make it to peace treaty, just get the territories like nothing happened. So the game rewards you being successful, but if the AI is successful, 2 things happen. The players just quit, or nothing happens, because they will not expand those territories unless it's inside their zone operations, or they'll just keep sacking the settlements at the edge of their zone operations. And this happens with so many factions in the game, when it makes no sense to even play the game past the early game because of it. And if you have this knowledge that this happened in the game, it ruins your play value the moment you learn about these behaviors. And this behavior needs to be patched, and needs to be made more unpredictable. The AI should be more greedy for expansion and occupy territories and want to expand and get more stuff, more armies, put more pressure on the player. Like in Warhammer 2, this behavior was working as well. If anybody watched my sellout campaigns where you guys would pay to sabotage my campaign, the AI that was mentioned by numerous viewers. The AI would lose desire to finish off the player to the point where the player needs to give up to lose the campaign. So it usually would happen when you're beaten down to 1 or 2 settlements and they were not in the range with their military just to take it. Or your garrisons were damaged at a point where you have just like, you're literally just beaten, but they don't want to finish you off. That would be a problem in Warhammer 2. But in Warhammer 3, it literally, just the initial engagement already creates this behavior when they don't want to further engage with you, even if they're winning. This zone operation is just fucked up, and that desire to expand is non-existent past their zone operations. Hey, Les. Anyways, where the hell were we before this? I think we were on topic, man. We're not digressing here. We're on topic, right? The only thing we're digressing here, drinking too much already. 3 shots in 48 minutes. Get rid of this crap. Yeah, I drank half a liter of water. It's a challenge we are up for, and I want to thank you for your feedback and asking us to make this change a high priority, so stay tuned for more on that in the future patches. Well, hopefully this high priority on these mechanics will also see some light on the Chaos Corruption. Because Chaos Corruption is pathetic. Pathetic. For the player, as a positive thing, and as a negative thing. Most dangerous force in the Warhammer universe, pathetic. And I mean the Chaos Corruption Undivided. The Chaos Undivided Corruption. Pathetic. It should be dangerous and a strong buff for positive side of things, not pathetic. Chaos gets their thing in Warhammer 3 and the corruption is still pathetic. This thing is even more embarrassing than the entire control system. Just one last thing on the topic of the game balance before we dive into patch format change. I want to mention quickly the Ancillary rebalance. Okay, we actually had this one. I've talked about it in a previous developer video. We intend for this to be a part of patch 5.3, but now won't be. I know that that may be disappointing to hear, but in the interest of transparency, I wanted to let you know that not only what we are releasing for you, but also the work we're doing that doesn't make the cut. So you can better understand the priorities and that we're working towards things that may not be visible, always be visible. This is normal part of game development. It's very common, and many pieces of work we start won't make the final cut for a number of reasons. One of the designers, Will, has written in more detail below about what we tried so far with the Ancillary system and where we might take it going forward. Ordinarily, you don't always see the work we do that doesn't make the release, but particularly where it pertains to elements of your feedback that we are actively asking for. I think it's really important to let you know that work is ongoing towards addressing your points. This is an example of us hearing your feedback on things like balance and game challenge before making moves to address it. at least in one small area. However, the ancillary balance just hasn't hit our quality threshold where we are happy to release it yet, so stay tuned for more on it in the future. Man, I hope this this ancillary thing is not just followers and stuff, but also, what do we see? This thing here. The generic lore traits: aggressive, confident, cunning, disciplined, determined, intelligent, knowledgeable, free-footed, perceptive, strategist, strong tactician, tough webmaster. You could literally complete the entire campaign without a single trait, item, ancillary, skill, or anything. But these things makes the game more fun and interesting to replay, so they're important. And you have aggressive with the charge and weapon strength, not good enough, so should be more weapon strength. Confident is in almost like a acceptable spot, 2 leadership and 10 leadership, 2 leadership for the army, 10 leadership for the character, which means 12 leadership for the character and 2 for the entire army. Confident actually makes sense. It's not something like you want to consider, because leadership is a stat that hits a wall and doesn't do anything past a certain point, especially if your other stats are higher. Guys, just by winning an encounter, your leadership increases, so you don't need actual leadership to increase. So leadership is like a thing that I feel like on a very, very high levels should do more than just make sure you don't waver, get shaken, waver, get terrified and stuff like this. So I feel like there should be a level of leadership past a certain, above average point where it does more than just, be a morale state. Because if you have like a very high morale state, there should be something more happening instead of just, you either have it or you don't have it. And you can just have it by increasing other stats, being successful at dodging attacks, delivering attacks, or holding the line. Because it's not a very important stat. You just need enough, and extra doesn't do anything. It's a thing that works in the most basest environments. Cunning is a bonus ambush chance in our own territory, and poison. This is unique, but it should be better, because for a lot of factions, cunning doesn't do anything. And I think cunning should give a different type of poison, maybe the older, stronger poison, instead of the nerfed version of the poison, which would make it special. Because you get a Skaven assassin with cunning, the ambush got nerfed, so it's situationally useful, and the poison doesn't do anything because the assassin already has poison. But if the cunning assassin had a stronger version of poison, that'd be cool. So to keep the cunning competitive with the other traits, or something you will consider, it should have a stronger poison effect. So it replaces your poison effect and does more. Discipline is not even that good. It's not even that good, which is the most fucked up thing. It's just better than most. Because buffing the army as a whole instead of just a single character is almost always better. Especially if that army needs to perform as in deliver melee hits like Lizardmen or the Greenskins or the Vampire Counts. They're like the Vampire Counts is a probably prime example, because they actually need additional leadership so they don't start taking damage to their health earlier, because they have some of the worst leadership. And it's kind of bizarre that an undead faction has the most problem with the leadership of all the factions in the game. And their attack values are average at best. So additional attack values go really, really big for them. And one discipline character does next to nothing. You need like 2 or 3 to notice the difference. And it's not like the discipline is strong. It's the rest of the options are shit. That's basically it. The Determined is one of the worst. Immune to psychology and +3 leadership for the character. Immune to psychology doesn't work, doesn't do anything in outside of some of the basest environments, and 3 leadership is laughable. Intelligent is a leftover from the old Total Wars, which even in those games was questionable and just a bad copy pasta into the Warhammer series. it should be reworked or removed, same as determined. Knowledgeable has been changed, and it actually does something. It does something, but it will hit a point where it does nothing. So this is why I don't like it. It actually is a trait that does something, you know, like confident, but it's not an exciting trait to get. Fleet-footed is actually pretty good, depending on the character. Just getting 20% speed and Strider is a big deal. So fleet-footed seems like just like a golden standard for the strength of the traits. And everything before this was literally bare bones compared to fleet-footed. And even that being said, we still want disciplined over fleet-footed, because discipline will affect the whole army, unlike the fleet-footed will just affect the character. Because some factions just need more attack on the units. Like Vampire Counts being the main example. They'll just suck without that extra attack. You can't put one Dance Macabre on the entire army. Perceptive, you know, is I think in the same boat as the Knowledgeable. It does something, but that something will stop working after a while and will become nothing. You know, I think Perceptive needs a better line of sight buff. And they need to revisit it if it really works on both lords and the heroes for the Magic Find. Strategist is one of the worst. It's probably in the level of Determined. For a base stat like a 5% movement range, it is bare minimal. It should be at least 15%. 15% for the movement range, and maybe even some kind of buff in the battle as well. Strategist is so poor. Strong is one of those that actually is above average, and you want it on some of the characters. But some of the factions that can utilize Strong can also utilize Disciplined better. For example, Beastmen and the Undead. I think Strong is one of those traits which is in a very good spot. It's not crazy good, and it's above average. Tactician has to go. Tactician is one of those traits that is a copy pasta from the older Total Wars. It gives you the leadership circle, the blue circle, bigger radius, and more strength, which outside the most basic environments doesn't do anything. Tactician is basically just a shittier version of Confident. Tough is actually one of the best, because it makes the character really tough. It actually does what it says. 5 defense and 25 armor. It's big. Most characters don't have enough armor, so they're not really on the level of being armored, but tough will make them armored, and the additional 5 defense does wonders. In both battles and balance of power, this is one of the best traits. It's even better than strong. So tough, when it comes to just power level stats, might be the best. Weapon Master used to be just a weaker strong, but they added the range buff to it as well, so I guess it's fine now as well. Like Weapon Master, Tough, and Strong are like, might be fleet-footed as well. Might be some of the very few traits that are actually on that level where they're actually okay. Followed by this Disciplined. Aggressive probably did more damage. And some of them just are boring that you don't want to see. Thanks, Nieta. Hey there. Are we ever gonna finish the 500? We are never gonna finish the 500, right? Goes to 320 now. I really, like I said, guys, the traits add to the fun of the game and the replay value, but you don't need traits to win the campaigns or be successful. You know, we people who constantly play the game and replay the game, we want to have fun with these things. Like, we don't want to start a Vampire Counts campaign, unlock a couple of bloodlines, and have them Dark Mages, Tactician, Determined. I mean, that is just fucked up, man. Like, where is this picture? Like, there is nothing worse than this. You're starting a vampire campaign, unlock some of the bloodlines, and then you get a Lamian Blood Dragon Determined, Von Determined. It is fucked up. And how does the game decide if they're gonna get determined? Like, the rest of your characters already have all the other traits in the pool. You don't need traits to be successful in the game, you need traits to win. You need good traits to keep the game fun and replayable. And that's about it. If the traits are not character defining or something that you look forward to, what the hell is the point of them? Okay, where the hell were we? Okay, they're saying the ancillary thing is not ready yet. Patch 5.3, I'll share it with you now. I'll look at our next patch. The first thing you'll notice below is that we made changes to and additions to 2 core Ogre Kingdoms features. Oh boy, please, proper Ogre mercenaries. As you'll likely be aware, we have Ogre Kingdoms content coming in our next DLC. Who cares? So with that in mind, we wanted to take the chance now to improve certain aspects of the race ready for when more content arrives. As I mentioned, we'll talk briefly about what we have been doing with the ancillary system. And that we're adding in some new interesting items. On top of all that, we'll be continuing our work on improving battle maps in our second 3-cluster update. I really like this. Clay Bonds, one of the people that used to watch this channel all the time, has quit Warhammer. I haven't seen him since like late Warhammer 2. He started playing the Vampire Counts campaign, and I think 4 lords in a row, they all roll determined. He uninstalled the game, and even in a few weeks stopped watching the streams, because this game was basically causing us just some emotional damage. They just don't get it how much this fucks up the game. They just don't get it. It's not important, but it's important. So it is important. Imagine starting a Vampire Counts campaign, looking forward to it, haven't done it in months, and then you put 4 bloodlines unlocked and they're all determined. And how can hell can you get excited about your Blood Dragon or your Strigo Ghoul King if they're determined? What the hell is the point of all get those additional stats unlocked at stronger items if his core sucks? Look what I've done to my boy. King Roman says, I quit this game, my life is so much better. But King Roman, what about the influence coming from my stream? Have you really quit the game? Or are you just an observer here, vicariously just memeing, trolling, and pepper laughing the state of the game it has become? You don't really quit this game unless you quit this channel as well. You don't play this game anymore. That's all. If I had any feelings left, King Roman, you would have heard him now. Yoo-hoo! Hello, Lord Snakes. Stragon says, I'm still just watching for you, not this game. Well, I appreciate that, Stragon. I appreciate that. To be honest, I don't even really care that much about this game anymore. But it still pays the most, so it's the go-to. Like I said earlier this stream, you know, I literally play anything that pays more. Whatever pays the most, I'll play it. Hey, Sparp. I've been away from Total War in like 4 weeks, but I've been craving it already for over a week. I don't think I'll ever be getting away from Total War series. As you likely be aware that we have Ogre Kingdoms going to come in case so change has race come and rise. As I mentioned, we'll talk briefly about what we've been doing with the Ancillary system, and we're adding some new interesting items, bell maps, premium elements and cosine class update. We also been fairly big balance update on to battle coming. And last but not least, we have heard you really enjoy the new units in the patch 5.2, so we're adding another one, and this time for vampire counts. Have they finally added the Graveguard halberds? I think I've seen them. I think I've seen them unless people did the Photoshop. Strackle, I said in the first case it's Warhammer 3, and the second case is Total War. Because, you know, I've been playing Total War for over 20 years. You don't stop something after 20 years. It's stuck with you, man. I mean, at some point in the future, half copium, just hit me. They will release another good, I mean, they will get lucky and they will release another good Total War game, which you can play from time to time, if not for most of the time. It will happen, guys. Creative Assembly will roll a natural 20 and they will create another good Total War game. Mark my words, and we'll have a blast for at least a year or two. It will happen. It might not be in 2024 or 2025 or 2026, but by 2027 it's coming. We just have to be patient and make sure the Copium and Hopium and Rakia tanks are full. Shot number 4. I mean, Creative Assembly has been released a lot of average to above average stuff, but every now and then they get lucky. They get lucky and they release great stuff. And then they make us wonder. They make us wonder because they made us addicted to the Total War formula. Nobody else does a game like Total War, so we are dependent on them to delivering again. So we have to stay hopeful, hope for the best, expect the worst, so we don't get disappointed ever again. Because you guys, remember, we can always get another this.
So the final game's actually going to look way better than this. You know, final game's actually going to look way better than this. You know, we're working our guts out on this game, and we're determined to make it the best Total War game ever. We've got a huge budget for the game, about 40% bigger than anything we've done before. So we're absolutely determined to make it the most epic Total War title ever. The bad news is we're not going to be releasing until the second half of 2013. So late next year.
2013. Fucking hell! It's been 11 years. 11 years since, oh my god, it's been 11 years since Rome 2. 11 years and almost 2 months. We are one leg in the grave, boys. 11 years and 2 months. God damn. We're getting old. So Vampire Counts got a unit, and I think somebody sent pictures, and the unit was holding pole arms. So it seemed to me like they were two-handed halberds or pole arms. We wanted spears or anti-large option for the Graveguard for years, and I think they delivered some form of it. Warhammer 3 is 10 years and 6 months old. 8 years and 6 months. I started streaming on Twitch a couple months before Warhammer got released. And I've been streaming for 8 years and 7 months. Almost 8 months. If I'm not mistaken, Warhammer 1 was released in May 2016. And King Roman has been following me since June 2016. Man, he's been here since the start. King Roman, we had our ups and downs, but you're still here. Cheers to old Sugar Daddy. If it wasn't for King Roman, boys, I wouldn't be in here like this. Probably would have been sober. I'm just kidding. Shot number 5. I remember I was playing a Crooked Moon campaign, and you know, when I play Crooked Moon campaign, I'm just like a little bitch agitated. Especially those early days, I get triggered. And King Roman said something I don't know what the fuck it was, but it triggered me. It triggered my very soul. The fabric of my existence was triggered, and I banned his ass for 2 weeks. But even that, he got back. So he might have actually triggered me very hard there, and he realized it. That campaign was hard for me, guys. You know, I was like fighting with myself and with the chat at the same time. Fucking Crooked Moon, man. Crooked Moon dramas, the worst. So Vampire Khan's got something, okay. Ogre Kingdoms mercenary recruitment rework, okay. We've been waiting for this for years. We've been waiting for this for years, right? The way the mercenary system works for ogres in Warhammer 3 as opposed to Warhammer 2 came with certain improvements. However, also missed the mark in a number of ways, and we saw a lot of feedback asking for certain aspects of how it worked in Warhammer 2 to return. But with additional UI UX improvements Warhammer 3 brought. As such, we have made a number of changes additions to how Ogre mercenary recruitment now works. Increase the Ogre mercenary unit cap per army to 3 from 1. Ooh, okay, I like this already. Man, it was so lame, so lame. Can you imagine they released Ogre Kingdoms and the Ogre mercenaries became worse than ever? I think they were in a pretty good position in Warhammer 2. Ogre mercenary pools are replenished at a rate of 1 unit per 5 turns. Every 5 turns. I guess in the radius of the Ogre camps. The quality of mercenary units available now depends on the tier of the Ogre camp. Oh, hopefully the AI actually builds these camps. More mercenary units are now available from Ogre camps, including... Hell yeah! The Morphac Cavalry is back, bitches! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Man Eaters have finally showed their faces. Dual weapons. Berg Black is here. The best unit. And who cares? God damn. Mournful Cavalry is back, boys. That's a mercenary unit. Can you guys believe Man Eaters are more expensive than the Morphane Cavalry? What the fuck? What the fuck are they smoking? This is the shit. This is the shit. So we can get 3 of them now. Man Eaters are good. Man Eaters are good, but they're not that good. The Monfort Cavalry is better because they can deliver the pressure more consistently than the Man-Eaters can. Because just think about this for a second, guys. Large, 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 large. These guys have like double the armor over the Man-Eaters. So why would you pick Man-Eaters over the Monfort Cavalry? Speed and armor will beat the Man-Eaters. There's very few situations where the Man-Eaters will be better than Monfort Cavalry. They're all large already. The Man-Eaters need to be slightly better to compete with Monfort Cavalry as mercenaries. Maybe defensive sieges. Yeah, okay, that's smart. Top major. Defensive sieges is probably the place that Man-Eaters would be better. But Monfort Cavalry could still deliver because you just put them in a position where they would get advantage. And they respond better. Because they are faster. The Giant is good. But Giant is boring compared to Monfort Cavalry or the Man-Eaters. When it comes to stats, Giant kinda has the best stats, but not the best damage outside single target. Oh god, let's see this. Let's see what do we have here. Ogre Kingdoms bounties. This is also one of the worst things about the ogres. We will be taking the team of mercenary contracts and doing much more within the DLC. As such, we have renamed the existing contracts a feature to bounties, ready for when that happens. Along with that, we have made a number of changes and improvements. We added a new, more thematic UI as seen below. We've changed the 10th generation into a rolling objective bounty system. Why did disable KEKV? Because KEKV is so being abused on the internet. My videos get demonetized when I use KEKV. I need to make a couple of bucks on YouTube, man. This is just a small indie streamer here. Need to make a living. The private streamers have monetized KEKV. What can I do? Run 8 minutes of ads while I come down. He said sieges. I know, man. I know. Sieges is so bad. Small indie streamer that drinks €100 booze every day. Don't manager, a bottle of rakia costs €16. And that's enough alcohol to be intoxicated for 2 days. So that's €8 of alcohol per day. If I was drinking, let's say Jack Daniels or Jameson, that'd be like about €16 of alcohol per day. I haven't been buying any trading cards game stuff, so my entire budget for dumb stuff this entire month has been into alcohol. Haven't played any cards in like several weeks and I haven't bought any dumb shit other than the alcohol. So this is all within the budget. And the budget has been shit since Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't pay. My nephew is sending me a message that he wants to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken today. Spoiled. Spoiled. Alcohol is also dumb stuff. Yes, it is. And yet I consider it dumb stuff. My nephew and me have the same weight, except I have more muscles. Is the insulin resistance fixed a bit, but he's too lazy. Kentucky Fried Chicken is okay. It's nothing special. I find that their shit too salty. It's also overpriced. Get some cooking ramen here. Sorry, cooking ramen is only for the special dumb occasions. I will put the Kentucky Fried Chicken food slightly above the Creation McDonald's. Like if Creation McDonald's is a 7 out of 10, I would put Kentucky Fried Chicken 7.2. Burger King, on the other hand, has improved in quality. They're better than both Kentucky Fried Chicken and McDonald's. A 7 Pepe Meltdown. I mean, I think Agneta, for what it is, it's not real food. It's more like a treat. And I think as a treat, a 7 is okay. They're better treats than McDonald's, but they cost more money. I think 7 is fair. Last couple of days, other than today's rakia, I've been eating pretty clean. Like a kilo of meat, eggs, cheese. It's almost carnivore, man. King Roman, don't compare your shitty ass quality in America to our superior creation quality. I eat over 25 kilos of meat a month. I know when meat tastes good. EU man triggered. I'm not triggered. I just want to trigger you. But then again, America's went to shit, man. They have shit food and they have high prices now as well. What do you eat for fiber? I don't care about fiber. You don't need fiber. Fiber is what do you say? It's almost like a fairy tale. It's like for people who don't move and eat shit. I eat some vegetables when I feel like it, but most of the time I don't eat them. Well, Agneta, if you can afford better stuff, I can definitely see this, but I think a 7 from McDonald's is fair. 7 from McDonald's in Europe is fair. You have to be subjective. You have to, my bad, you have to be objective. I mean, first things first, you can't really consider McDonald's real food. And for what it is, you know, hyper-processed treat, I think a 7 is fair. You cannot compare it to real food. Can you guys imagine some people actually get their nutrition from McDonald's? Holy shit. Regarding the comment with fiber, if you just eat meat, eggs, cheese, fish, all high bio foods, there is no waste. There is next to no waste. When you eat vegetables, grains, there is a lot of waste. So the fiber can help for some people, but they're really unnecessary for the diet. If you tolerate them well, you're fine. But you don't need fiber. Should I get back to Warhammer? We shall. No, we should start up until dawn or BG3. I had a dream about Ultim Dawn. I had a dream I missed something and I had to reload the entire episode and go like an hour back. Well, there was some like spooky Wendigo stuff on my ass. My meal today was 6 eggs, bacon, and cheese. It's literally a reason to get out of bed in the morning. So the mercenary contracts were pretty horrible. They were pretty horrible, and the rewards were non-existent. Cholesterol going to the moon. Dietary cholesterol doesn't do anything for you, King Roman. It's the human cholesterol that fucks you up. I hope you are miming with that. You should know better by now. I eat over 1,000 eggs and 20 kilos of meat a month, and I'm still alive here. Year after year after year. That's one of the biggest lies. We've added a new automatic UI. We changed the 10th generation. Okay, so it's a rolling objective bounty system. I just love it when people start talking shit about cholesterol, and the cholesterol is a critical component for your body. It's expensive to produce. The feature was previously only available every turns, which wasn't very interactive. Instead, we have now made it so that the bounties are more of an interest more consistently. Okay. All objectives are now available continually instead of only being able to select a single one. The gameplay for bounties is now more opportunistic in nature, and you don't have to accept a single mission, but instead can tackle any and all bounties at your leisure. You know what is the most impossible to accept for all these people that eat shit? That all of the negative things around cholesterol in your body, all of it, is caused by grains and sugars, and not really by animal products. Animal products are literally what's helping you so you actually stay alive. It's the grains and the sugars that are making your cholesterol go to shit. Plants are killing you. What's wrong with my mic? No, it's nothing wrong with my mic. I'm just like moving it around. Can you guys hear me? Yoo-hoo! Maybe I need to switch to my other headset. Yoo-hoo! This was one of the worst, more underwhelming mechanics in the game. I've been using this headset for way too long. It's literally in a fall apart state. I had to use duct tape to keep it together. But Sennheiser had stopped producing these headsets, and I only have one left in my closet. So I need to keep it alive for as long as possible. So if I do this, does it get messed up? Okay, I will not do that. I will not do that then. Sounds like you're fapping. You know, King Roman, you've been here for 8 years. I don't fap during stream. I fap after the stream. All objectives are now available continually instead of only being able to select a single one. The gameplay for bounties is now more opportunistic in nature, and you don't have to accept a single mission, but instead can tackle any and all bounties at your leisure. Okay, that sounds much better. You know, Top Manager, if I have to check Morati's dungeon during the stream, then you know the stream is shit. So this is how it looks like now. We got that ogre stuff. 1500 treasury. Eliminate the following character: Helman Gorst, Clan Treachery. Clan Treachery is the first enemy of Helman Gorst. I guess this might be a gold mission. So the reward is still questionable. I check Morati's dungeon on stream, but I don't fap on stream, man. This Steam looks underwhelming for the rewards. 1500 is nothing. Sparap says, I fap on your stream. What does your wife say to this, Sparap? I don't know, man. I've gotten to such level of degenerate that the voices don't do it for me. I need to have like content A, content B, and some other going on all at the same time for me to get worked up. I guess I'm on an advanced level. Answer resistant balance and new items. Originally, as part of this patch, oh, these fluids taste so good. Our first cycle rebalance ancillaries alongside a selection of brand new ancillaries to round out the item pools. Are they finally going to get those physical resistance items under check? This stream would have been shit without Sparap and Agnieta. Man, I'm so glad Sparap and Agnieta found this stream. Without you guys, this would be just a boring ass stream. And I mean at you, Top Manager. Top Manager, you're a boring ass viewer. Okay, where were we? Originally, the part of this page, we want to release our brand new ancillaries and run on the item pools. We approach this idea from a systemic angle. Defining new backend tools to help us start a long process of cracking away at the balance of the hundreds of ancillaries found across the game. Black Cat, right? With our goal being to set sustainable practices that allow us to simultaneously work through our backlog as well as assist in balancing upcoming content. We built this primarily around a power budgeting matrix. What the hell? What the hell? The ancillary system need a power budgeting matrix? God damn! Where we spent an item's budget derived from how rare it is. Oh god. Oh god. Not again. How are these idiots going to decide how powerful is something if they don't even play the game? Živjeli. 5 shots. 1 hour 36 minutes. I gotta be careful, gonna get some more water. One moment. Okay, enough alcohol for now. 5 shots have been enough for around 2 hours. Switch to water. Top Manager, answer me honestly. If you have not ever found this stream, what did you know from your own knowledge, or that Ogre Blade is stronger than Slayer of Kings? So you see, guys, CA is not the problem here. It's LHTV is the problem here. I say yes, he would. But do people really think about this? You know, they have this Ogre Blade on the item list and they got a Slayer of Kings. Do they think that the Ogre Blade is stronger than Slayer of Kings, or they just put Slayer of Kings just because it's purple? Plus 6 melee attack, by the way. Archeon has 80 melee attack without anything. And there's a basic attack trait that gives additional 4 attack, which makes it his basic melee attack 84 without anything else. Slayer of King's supposed to be powerful, but goddamn, it's so bad. And the fact that CA doesn't know anything about it is a tragedy. Would you rather have 5% ward save, 5 melee attack? 5% ward save always, King Roman. Ward save always best. Ward save makes your toughness just way better. It's gets to the point where you don't take damage. Archeon has extreme durability, and any additional wards in Archeon is big. Archeon gets to the point where he's so tough, the only way he's going to be doing any more damage is with good spell casts. Power budgeting matrix, oh my god. Power budgeting matrix. Oh my god. Alongside this, we added modifiers that allow us to deliberately create outliers following specific design restrictions. This allowed us to track down items that were far more or less rare than expected and massage them into more appropriate brackets. They are so full of shit, man. They are so full of shit. I might be a little bit biased on this. Maybe just Elok talking here. But they are so full of shit. They are stat whoring. They are stat whoring. They see what's used more and what's used less, and they're gonna adjust accordingly. Fucking stat whores they are. Stat whores. This allowed us to track down items that were far more or less ready. Okay, alongside adjusting the effects of the items, we had the goal of bringing in some of the new tech the game has seen since inception. Buried as defense stat. Yes, please. The first part of this rebalance was planned to be released as a part of patch 5.3, but we presented to our internal feedback channels. The message we got back was loud and clear. We hadn't hit the mark. We take that kind of feedback seriously, so we made a decision to delay this content while we take that feedback and interrogate our approach. Who the fuck these guys think they are? They're fucking the research team in a XCOM game? Like real scientists and shit? What the hell is these words? Trying to confuse the peasants here. Here are some of the key things we found in the feedback. The difference between a high value common and a low value uncommon could be far too slim. In that system, an item valued at 29 uniqueness, highest value common, and 30 uniqueness, lowest value uncommon was only a single point. We're interrogating. What the fuck are these words, man? You guys reading this shit? Uniqueness, interrogating. It's a fucking item system. Okay, I have to read this again. I might be drunk here, but this is a bunch of nonsense to me. In that system, an item valued at 29 uniqueness. How do you call these things in English? I always forget. We call it Zagrada. I call it bracket because I have no other word for it. How do you call these things? There's a word for it I can never remember. Parenthesis. Is it parenthesis? So in parenthesis they put a highest value common. Parentheses. Is it parentheses? If I say sometimes brackets, I mean parentheses. I guess bracket is not the right word. And 30 uniqueness. Lowest value uncommon. So basically what they are saying that some of the items like the Dawnstone were better started than some of the lower uncommon items like the Obsidian Lodestone or the Amulet. Because Dawnstone for some reason is still common. And Dawnstone is a pretty good item. It's supposed to be at least uncommon if you ask me. Dawnstone is a 15 physical resistance item. Basically turns your character into a demon. And now the thing that makes no sense to me. We are interrogating leaving larger air gaps in the values we assign to rarities to ensure that each jump in quality is a notable increase in power. Well, this is a poor choice of words if I ever seen one. So brackets are different parentheses types, right? Yeah, you know, this is good stuff. This is good stuff for sure. But it can also be bad stuff when you realize what's on their mind. Because on their mind is fucking bare bones. The value of specific effects was out of proportion with what they perceived as valuable. We got a list of effects that review on this topic. Because there's a problem. Okay, actually I was just about to say this, but I say it here already. Some effects don't feel good standing alone. Spell resistance. Okay. Holy shit. That was the first thing that makes sense here. We are finding effects like this, some partners in order effects to help them more universal use of the... Goddamn, CA spies confirmed. I was just talking shit about this for the next couple of months. Last couple of months. Spell resistance alone is shit. Did I say this? How many times I said this? They're gonna find them partners? So basically, spell resistance on an item alone is not good enough, and they had to have something else on top of it. Because spell resistance is a shit stat, especially if it's on a single entity. There are certain items that were considered iconic, particularly due to having very powerful effects that were brought too low by balance adjustments. They probably mean Talisman of Endurance here. Talisman of Endurance used to be 15% ward save, and over the years it got brought down to 8% ward save, which is pretty lame. Should be at least 10. We're interrogating how high we are willing to go within our existing categories and considering the potential impact of a new tier of rarity. Doesn't mean we are leaving you empty-handed, however. I mean, I said this many times, and I'm gonna be saying this many times again. You can complete the entire campaign on highest difficulty, no traits, no items, no skills, nothing. But these things are important for the game to remain fun and replayable. If you don't understand this, fuck off. So this is important to be proper. That doesn't mean we are leaving you empty-handed, however. Page 5.3 will contain 80 new generic ancillaries, which drop only for relevant factions. To help you outfit your gun toters, bow slingers, and blowpipe blasters with improvements to their range performance. Additionally, we are introducing the concept of randomly dropped unique ancillaries, which are extra rare and come with particularly zesty effects such as map and grunts, massively increase campaign moon at a cost of small chance to get lost and warp into around me. God damn, man, what the fuck is all I ever wanted? In total, 6 new unique items will be coming in 5.3 alongside new generic Ancillaries. Every couple of months, they should release a patch like this with items to just make things more interesting. Just imagine there is a new patch and it says 3 new items. People gonna be playing 5+ campaigns just to find out these new items and to see what they do. New ancillaries, new items, new trades is what makes the game more interesting to replay, more fun overall. This shit is important for the longevity of the game. This is the important stuff. Helm of Dreska, Doomsinger, Mads map. I don't know any of this. Mads map says a map detailing many lesser known pathways that may or may not get you lost. Uncharted pays 20% chance to appear in a random nearby region upon ending turn. Campaign range plus 3%. Oh. And this I will say, campaign movement range cannot be increased above 50%. Because, you know, people who worked on Warhammer 2 no longer exist in Warhammer 3. People who work in Warhammer 3 have no idea what people of Warhammer 3 Warhammer 2 been working on the game. So they keep all these tooltips that are pointless as they are even to this date. Battle map 3 cluster update continued. As you will have seen patch 5.2, we started the initiative to update the trees in certain battle maps, making them look more natural and offering better tactical options. That's important, so they don't look like those warts on the minimap. Or removing them entirely where they were not needed. Hey healer, we are continuing this effort into 5.3 and have made a number of changes to additional 46 battle maps. And as we mentioned previously, this will be an ongoing improvement to our maps. Okay. That was from before, huh? Battle balance update. Here we go. We are making a number of changes to battle balance. So now a word for... Okay, we have to go back. This is good. But when the variety of settlement battles and the siege battles does not change, stays the same year after year after year, and they add more field battles, they make the siege battles worse. The siege battles are so fucking bad that we take any field battle over it. Doesn't matter what variety we get. What we really need is a couple more a little bit more variety to siege battles. Just a little bit more. Just 1 or 2 more battle maps. If this doesn't change, doesn't matter what I do to field maps. Because we're gonna be mad, annoyed when we have to do siege battles. And we're gonna take field battles just because they're not siege battles, and we're gonna be happy about it. We are making a number of changes to battle balance, so now a word from our battle designer Ben. So they got Will and Ben. Did I miss somebody? So that 2 developers working on this game. And what to expect? In patch 5.3, we are shifting the multiplayer meta slightly by introducing some small and not so small changes to just about every faction in the game. These tweaks aim to correct outlying units in various rosters and bring them back in line with what both we and the community expect to see. Beyond this, our aim is to keep the experience feeling fresh by shifting the faction meta around slightly. So, multiplayer talk here. What's this? Please game. 2 more scary scenes. 2 more. Oh! What the fuck, man? Okay, that made me jump. God damn it, man! We're doing patch notes here. Where were we? Special thanks to Catholic Alcoholic. Catholic Alcoholic. God damn, that's a good name. Catholic Alcoholic. Catholic Alcoholic. And the rest of the team who puts together the community source balance thread, as it's a brilliant way for us to temperature check the meta over the battle side of the game alongside our own balance tests, feedback, opinions, and metrics. Is this what above the ghouls? Man, the ghouls in the received a lot of love in Warhammer 3, but I guess in the competitive battles not good enough, and then I'm gonna be a little bit overperforming in the campaign. Creation a Catholic, I guess, but as the years go by, less and less people are religious. It gets to the point where religion is just a part of the culture anymore and not really a big deal. Okay, feedback, opinions, and metrics. Also, special thanks to our affiliated content creators for putting the videos and sending in feedback that's highlight where our battle balance could be improved. Some highlights include then Catholic Alcoholic is a nickname suitable for you. If I had to create a nickname like this, it would be a jaded alcoholic. That would be more suitable. Where were we? Some highlights include several changes to Nakai innate attributes and army effects in campaign. Wang deploying Woodsman Terror. Phone is ringing, I don't care. A small rework to the Black Coach abilities. Again, the now intensity based on how many nearby enemies have been killed. Additional effects for the spell Glean Magic, Spell Mastery, and Spell Silence for the enemy. More Spell Mastery. More Spell Mastery. I want to see more Spell Mastery. Spell Mastery makes the game fun. Guys, while we've been playing Baldur's Gate 3, there was a patch, a hotfix, that fixed some of the old skills when they were creating these new characters, like the Red Crescent King Chief, Croxigore Ancient, and Akai. Their first melee attack skill is supposed to be 6 and 12, or 3, or the hero version with 3 points. And they fixed this for the Red Crescent King Chief, and they fixed this for the Croxigore Ancient, but they left the Nakai on the old 9 value. Well, the page said they done something else. Nakai still has a hero skill for his attack. Man, I hope we don't roll Nakai for exclamation mark 500. I think for exclamation 500 I want to play Nakai, but I changed my mind. I don't want to play Nakai. I hope I roll Trog. And I just spend trolls and make sure we get boring battles and people just get past the campaign. Yeah, I don't want to play Nakai again. I don't want to play Nakai. Hopefully roll Trog. I'm drunk and muted here. I hope we don't roll Nakai, but there's no Nakai in top. It's top 5 now because we did Nakai, right? So I'm hoping we roll Trog. Fucking hell! When you have to hope for Trog, you know how bad it is. I really hope we roll Trog. Okay, small cold green magic. What do we have here? If I get a Katep, it's gonna be the worst you have seen Elich yet in stream. It's gonna be just alcoholism online. Is Trog more enjoyable than Greece? Yes. Yes. Yes! Yes! 100 times yes! Skarsnik? I don't want to see Skarsnik unless they list a Greenskin DLC. The Night Goblins make me bitch like nothing else. The Night Goblins are so fucking terrible, man. The fact that Goblins pretend to be Night Goblins are better. It's a strong faction, but it just like the damage is done. Buffs to the Skull Cannon below, trying to make them more credible threats. Okay, those units definitely need more buffs. A rework to Wild Rangers, Guardians of the Wild ability. Okay, so this was only until large while they were in the forest. Also, charge defense against large. That one was definitely outdated. It was also questionable flavor all the back in Warhammer 1. Nerfs to Kislev, specifically some gentle MP cost increase the reduction to the war size collision power. God. What's better about Night Goblins? Really? Really? Healer, I hope you're trolling, man. I hope you're trolling. I hope you're trolling, man. Demonic Logos abilities have been increased to fit 5 meter range to work better on ultra unit size. Okay. Smaller river on how the Archosaur deals its damage. It was kinda underwhelming. More leadership for ghost type units. Yeah, leadership is questionable. More large units feature collision attacks, storm scorpions, Karag Destroyer, and Torque Dragon, and more. Even more buffs for the Chariot of the Gods. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. If anybody needs more buffs, it's Cetra. When they buff Cetra, they need to get their shit together and buff Cetra again. And when Cetra is all powerful, they need to buff him again. And when he is the strongest soul in the game, they have to do only one. The only thing that's most natural is to buff him again. And only then it'll be acceptable. As ever, if you have any feedback regarding battle balance, be sure to hit up forum. We are always looking and reading. Ben. Oh shit! What do we have here, boys? I hope they would have shields, but I don't know. Maybe with shields and spears would have been better, but I guess halberds with no shield is acceptable too. They have 90 armor. They're always going to be better than the Emperor halberdiers, and the Emperor halberdiers are more than fine. We know everyone really enjoyed when we added the new Orcs and Goblins units with the weapon variants at patch 5.2, and adding small new additions like that is something we'd like to continue doing where possible. As such, we have now added a new unit for vampire counts, the Graveguard of the Halberds, ready to shore up the undead against the relentless onslaught of cavalry, dragons, and everything in between, and as a much more reasonable price point than those Haunted Blood Knights. You know, guys, what this is said now? This is said because they look like what I wanted for Stormworm to look like. You can see their attack value is questionable, but that's how the Stormworm should look like. This is how I wanted the Stormworm to look like, not 160 antis at this HP. 9960. Stormworm 160 antis sucks. 20 melee attack kinda sucks, but they get some of the best battle skills. Experience adds on top. They get a buff from various sources, and they get an anti-large bonus. So against large, they'll have more than enough attack. Against infantry, they're gonna have average at best. Until large, I probably have, I would say between 15 and 17. 15 and 17 for the until large bonus, considering their quality. That was what happened 7 days ago while I was not here. Okay. Since then, there was a 4 hours ago from CA Pingu. Total Warhammer 3 patch notes 5.3. They look good. They look good. I mean, 20 melee attack with the base chance to hit is 55. 120 combatants, it's okay against single entities for sure. Not so great against some monster infantry though. But if you have the basic battle skill and experience, they'll be above average against in those situations. If you give them a 1 health Dance Macabre while they're fighting a large entity, the Legends get fucked. This was today. Greetings, folks. We hope you enjoyed reading through the devblog last week, where we shed some light on the changes coming in patch 5.3 for Total Warhammer 3. In advance of the patch release tomorrow, we can find the full release notes below, including all the new and updated content, balancing and bug fixes. Okay. Due to a technical error with our Total War community blog, we have needed to separate the more nuanced battle balance detail into separate forum posts, which you can find here. Details all the changes we made to various units across the factions, from hit points to base weapon damage, economic cost, multiplier, and various other factors. We're working on an update for our web tech to ensure that we won't need to add so many clicks to your day in the future. So please accept our apologies for the extra inconvenience today. Patch 5.3 otherwise contains plenty of new changes, fixed improvements, and all new Unity variant, so let's get into it. Oh my god. You see that shit? So this will be a little bit faster, because we went over this. The Ogre's mercenaries are getting a rework, and it looks like gonna be closer, if not better, than the level of Warhammer 2. So, for example, you can now finally get modified cavalry or the man-eaters in the army on top of the giant. The Ogre contracts are now bounties, and they ought to be slightly better now, with still questionable rewards, but if they work differently, they might be overall better. I think the bounties should be like a core mechanic for at least one of the Ogre factions, where they play their entire campaign according to this. New magic items, they added new magic items, so basically new stuff. And they have some downsides. And this is probably the most fun things they can add to the game with the updates. In my opinion, this is huge for the play value. And these are my favorite things of the game. I guess this is the entire list of the items. The names don't really mean much to us without seeing what they are. But looks like these are maybe just regular, and these are uniques. This one is only available to greenskins. What is this research overflow? We have always presented the research rate as a percentage and time acquired to research knowledge in terms of number of turns for ease of understanding. However, under the hood, we actually generate a certain number of research points every turn while actually researching technology. The base amount of points that generate is 100, so 150% research point means you generate 150 points. Technologies are defined by a total point cost needed to complete them with simply shorthand. This is a turn counter. Okay, so looks like we're back to we're more like in the civilization type of research rates now. I'm glad they actually figured this one out. So what is the problem? Let's look at the example scenario. You started researching technology with a base time of 4 turns, which translates to 400 research points. So 1 turn is always 100 research points. You also have a mighty plus 30% research rate. Mighty 30% research rate, more like puny 30% research rate. Hard won for several settlements, worth the towers and engineering schools, allowing you to generate 130 research points per turn. Turn 1, 130 to 400, turn 2 to 6 to 400, turn 3, turn 9 to 400, turn 4 to 400. Yeah, it does do shit. Well, it didn't actually save you any time at all, and under our previous implementation, this extra 120 points you generate on turn 4 will be lost to the order, leaving you with no benefit whatsoever for your increased research rate when not researching technologies with a high enough base cost. Only a CA would call plus 30% research rate mighty. With our new system, when you finish researching technology with surplus points, those extra points will now be stored as a research point surplus in your technology tree. This surplus will then automatically be applied to the next technology you research and enjoy the small but now real benefits of 5% research rate in the long term. So basically, they're using like the same system the civilization you've been using for years, right? It's called a research overflow. I mean, 30% research for some factions seems like, you know, all they can get, but for some factions, 30% is nothing. Stuff like this will be huge for factions in the current state, like Vampire Counts, Lizardmen, Dark Elves, Greenskins, name a few. For additional helpful research, you can now hover over turn counter for any technology to see breakdown of actual costs and research points and effects of your result. This is actually nice. Shout out to Jerry Ruff, whose mod implements a similar feature. Okay. This is nice. This is nice. Stuff like this, man. Stuff like this. If only it was released 2 years ago. If only it was released 2 years ago, this game would have had at least 71% rating instead of internally locked at 69. Nice. The 69 is very close to 70%. It's very close to 70%. Last year caused so much damage to the rating, and deservingly so. What is this? Movement range display. We have reworked how companion movement range is displayed in an effort to improve clarity when moving in swing stances. Previously, movement range was shown as percentages. Oh my god. But it often represented a numeric value under the hood. No shit. No shit, really? To clarify this, movement range is not displayed as numeric value. Wow. That's so good. While Boniface will still represent a percentage change should make entering exit stance much more understandable, especially when calculating the movement range you need. Week 1 of fucking Warhammer 3, I was saying about this. Week 1, over 2 years ago. Week 1! Disciple Army Confirmation button. When you press the button to create Disciple Army Slanesh, a confirmation prompt now appears to prevent accidental creation, so many accidental armies. Okay. Disciple armies are what makes the Nakari faction very powerful if you go crazy with it. Battle. New unit Graveguard Halberds. Long have the vampire count suffer under the tyranny of the large monsters. This is not joke, guys, because if you played Warhammer 1, and for you who did not play Warhammer 1, in Warhammer 1, vampires would really struggle against large units. Really struggle, like, to the point where giants, the old giants, the original giants would bully the vampires. It was so messed up, man. Would literally have the zombie dragon get smacked by the giant like it's nothing. The giants are the big bullies of the vampire counts in Warhammer 1. Until they released the Blood Knights. And even after that, they still had no infantry for this shit. Long have the vampire counts suffered under the tyranny of the large monsters when their cheap skeleton spirit proceeding a vast empty void until the Blood Knights and their own anti-large monsters take the field. Here to fill the gap, a new unit variant. Graveguard Halberds enjoy spectacular with high weapon strength for halberd unit, though their general low skill stat line and lack of shield makes them less an AP generalist frontliner and more a dedicated monster hunting unit. Did they really just call this unit a dedicated monster hunting unit with a 27 speed? 20 attack is fine, but nobody should be called a dedicated monster hunting unit with 27 speed. Styled after the 6th edition miniatures, they will bardacious to bring low large foes. This is a great addition. This is a great addition. It'll be really good against single entities. Really hard to address the faster non-single large entities, you know, like cavalry, because unless you have enough of them, they'll just ignore them. So, but in a way, they're probably gonna be always better than the great swords, because large is always a higher trait than infantry. Well, again, whatever the Raid Z has available, right? These are the battle maps. A lot of maps have been updated. But this is how it looked like before, huh? Yeah, this was pretty horrible. I'm really glad they did this, because those maps really sucked. There is a performance bug fixes. Fix a crash that occur when entering the Nemesis count marker. I haven't experienced that one, luckily. Get more. Fix a crash when opening a card skill tree, especially affecting cards fate viewer. This issue is caused considering crashes under specific conditions and has been the result of improved stability. Fix the crash that occurred when a character ranked up and triggered out development of skills. Fix the crash that occurred when units attempt to dock a ladder to a wall. Oh, I have never seen this one. So this must have been a very rare crash. General gameplay. Fix an issue where... Thanks, Rihanna.
Oh my god.
Look at that pleb Captain Moron.
Holy shit. What the hell?
Okay, fix an issue where certain playable faction could not be revived through rebellions after being destroyed. Fix an issue where the Warhammer mechanic that prevented Bellicor from upgrading Chaos Troll units to Battle Trolls. So guys, they were not kidding about releasing a major patch before DLC. Because I don't wanna really go there. I don't wanna go there, but I'm excited for the Greenskins update. I'm excited for the Greenskins update, and I'm looking forward to playing the Warhammer 3 game with the Greenskins update. You guys might not remember, but Greenskins were cool and depressing as fuck before a major DLC in Warhammer 2. Holy shit, that was a horrible faction. Guys, do you remember Greenskins in Warhammer 1 and before Warhammer 2 Greenskin rework? Holy fuck, that was like some of the most depressing campaigns I've played in my entire life. You would have to literally play 90 turns of a campaign, 90 turns, to get a technology called strap-on gear plus 10 armor on infantry. 90 turns, and it was literally the only good technology they had. It was called strap-on gear. Strap-on gear. Strap-on gear. Was literally the only thing that was good there. You know what's even worse? Come thinking with the older days, back in early Warhammer 2, Warhammer 1 in general. Somehow we were playing 120, 30, 40, 50, even 180 turns campaigns. And some Pegas even played 200, 300 turns campaigns. Nowadays, it's a miracle you even get to 80 turns. Fix an issue where the dragon-blooded sugar mom had only one use of the bound spell, the enfeebling foe in campaign. The number of users has now been increased to 4. The game is easier. It's not really that halfway. There's many factors that's the problem here. But the issue with the turns, the pacing is off. The pacing is off. At least in Warhammer 1, Warhammer 2, the game could give you an illusion of difficulty if the player fucked up due to being oppressed on the high difficulty in the early game. Top Manager, do you remember Carl's campaign before Elspeth? It was one of the best campaigns in Warhammer 3. And now? What the fuck? Goddamn plebs! Goddamn plebs! Fix an issue with a dragon. Okay, okay. Number 4. Fix an issue when playing worst case campaign. Maintain launch one active gear. Okay, boys. Okay, okay. What a chance that this fixed it. How says Warhammer 2? I hope nobody declares war on me. Warhammer 3, it'll be good if somebody declares war on me. How? You know it, man. You know it. It's fucked up. This has been a super annoying issue since the start of Warhammer 3. Super annoying issue. So you literally get a technology that says you get some bonus depending how many active gifts you have. And this bonus literally just works for a few turns and then it stops working and then you're just like pissed. I'll be shocked if this actually works. I'll be shocked. but hope for the best. There are actually some really good technologies regarding this. So the fact they don't work, it kind of sucks. It's like the game forgets the counter or forgets to check what's working and what's not working. Fix issues with reportation of foreign regions via axial visions of old ones. I don't even remember. Did we even play an axial campaign outside the sellout campaign? I don't think we did. Also, guys, I've decided there'll be no sellout campaign in December. We're gonna leave it for next year. We're gonna leave it for next year. I think four sellout campaigns a year is too much. We'll keep it to like 3. I think Oxiotl is the most fun Lizard campaign to play, though. Campaign AI should now use certain mechanics less frequently to align with 10 design, including Book of Judges units, Matters of State, College of Magic, and Balkans Adventures. Yeah, I noticed AI, even the minor factions, have been literally spamming the Garage Seller units. And they're literally just AFK. Adjusted Nakai's Wild-Eyed skill to align with the Crossgrow's Ancient Blade Master skill, increasing the melee attack bonus from 9 to 12 for consistency. What the fuck, man? I recently played a Nakai campaign and I complained about this. And I complained about this before and before and before, like 5 times. There's CA spies around, boys. They might not be the CA official people here, but they're talking with CA people. Nakai had a hero skill for attack for years. Fixing consistency in the names of skills and unit abilities in the global skill tree. That can mean anything. We're important. And yeah, we're not important. We're literally like one of the only suckers that still keep playing this game on unhealthy levels. At least I'm getting paid for it, unless Cookies, man. Cookies has like 6,000 hours in this game. And he has liver poisoning. Fix an issue with occupying the Oak of Ages as the Ogre Kingdoms allow the construction of regular settlement buildings instead of the Oak of Ages building. Looks like somebody actually occupied the Oak of Ages as the Ogres. I had a Nakai campaign recently, Face. Fix an issue where some... I had a Nakai campaign recently. I remember. Yeah, we played the Nakai campaign. Was finished last month. 12, 19, 23. It was 25 hours. 25 hours for Warhammer 3. That's a super long campaign. Fix an issue where some effects of certain dwarf keep deep buildings which require adjacent dwarf factions were not triggering. UI UX. What does the UX stand for? There is an overlap issue in the Lords and Heroes dropdown where the remaining travel time counter overlapped when using sea lanes with Grisus. User experience. Really? There's also an issue where the UI for building silent segments and Axiosl was obscured by dark overlay, making the icons and confirmation dialog difficult to see. Fixed an issue where the Wood Elf 3 Spirits buildings were incorrectly showing us a landmark building in the landmark icon tooltip. Resolved an UI issue where players, despite having insufficient resources, could not send gift payments to Clown Molder, affecting multiple factions occurring without warning. The gear mechanic now functions correctly for all factions. Fix an issue where the contact effects in the Demon Prince Gears panel did not display tooltips. The Gorbis Chariot of Corn unit is now correctly listed as a Monster's Chariot. Monster's Chariot? What the hell that means? Maybe just like text. Resolve an issue where Karnak's running animation on the campaign map did not loop smoothly, causing snapping and desynchronization with his movement speed. Resolve a visual issue where Lydell did not play animations while mounted and moving in Lilith's blessing or ambush stances. They changed the chariot size groups. Is it just like a text, or is it actually have some kind of mechanic changes on the battlefield? Is a mass change? Because the Gorbis chariot should definitely be larger than other chariots. God damn, there's still a wall of text here. I need to take a piece. Be back. Wait, boys. General gameplay. Resolve an issue and gives the Frozen Fall spell where defeating the initial enemies did not progress the mission, preventing completion and leading to a dramatic defeat. Oh man, I'll be so mad if that happened. Thanks, Agera. Man, the quest battles are all still so messed up. I haven't done any multiplayer campaigns since I done one in Warhammer 2, and I tried to do some in Warhammer 1, but it was desync. But there was a couple of multiplayer streams where I was doing multiple battles. So Face, if you missed it, you can check the VODs. I'm sure you can find it. There's at least 2 streams we did in Warhammer 3 where there were multiple battles. If you can't find it, I'll try to find it for you. Just message me again. Okay, fix an issue where Greece's quest battle overturned crown in both multiple and single player campaigns lacked objectives and feature a mobile AI. The battle now starts properly with objectives displayed, enemy units moving, and enforcement spawning as standard. Yeah, I didn't mind the battles against the viewers, because every time we would go into like a multiple battle, people just like, I would say, over half the time, the battle would just get cancelled. It was so hard to find opponents in queue battles. The problem with the campaign, if you're not playing with the people of the similar level to know what they're doing for this type of campaign, one player gets too much advantage and then the other player just playing the game to lose. So he already lost hours ago, but he still keeps playing. That's pretty much my experience in Total War multiplayer campaign. So 1-on-1, it's messed up. Every time I was playing a Shogun 2 multiplayer campaign, the people just quit the moment they get advantage. I mean, it is how it is. Usually a battle or two happens where a certain side gets so much advantage because of a snowball. Unless everybody goes up to that side, if it's not a 1v1 environment, nobody can stop it anymore. In a 1v1 environment, it's done. You can basically just delay the inevitable defeat. This situation with default deployment leads to units being cramped in one corner. Oh, we'll see if that actually is fixed. The ideal multiplayer campaign in Warhammer 3, in my opinion, would be if the community was actually serious about it, and you would actually enable the actual people to the battles of the campaigns you played. So you would start a campaign, a single-player campaign, and it will be a check mark that every battle in that campaign is played by the human opponents. And it's not optional to play against the AI. You would probably have to set a criteria what would be a battle that's considered for a human opponents. Like if the enemy had like 13 units, 14 units, 15 units, 16 units, you know. So it lowers the tedium of battles when you just like, you're gonna load a human opponent in a battle with this, you have on 6 units, you have 20. You know what I mean? So if it's like a 20 versus 20 battle or 20 versus 20 plus battles, there'll always be a human opponent. And then the people could queue for those battles where they command a certain number of units, like 15 to 17, 17 to 19, 20 plus units, stuff like this. And experienced players rarely lose battles unless they fuck it up. I don't think there's even a single battle in the Warhammer 3 could actually fuck it up unless you are intoxicated. While in Warhammer 2, there was a chance in a couple of battles where it can go bad. In Warhammer 3, it's more of like a surprise of positioning and experience with the start of the campaign more than anything. The battles is a different story. It's like somebody playing, let's say, Drazot for the first time, and he's having incredible difficulty. And then somebody who restarted the campaign 20 times saying it's easy. You know what I'm saying? Doing something like this on the first try or the second try, that's a real achievement. And not being a smartass about it after you've experimented and done it after 20 tries. Fix an issue with range units' ability to shoot while moving will sometimes not fire in their position. Okay, that's been an issue. Additionally, address instances where they experience significant delay in firing due to misaligned ticks. Imagine a mode top manager where there will be random starting locations and the random starting enemies in the area. That will be a real difficulty because the main difficulty would be a surprise for war. Just think about it for a second. That will be some nail biters. And I have no idea why they have not put this as a part of the main game. They did something like this in Pharaoh. They've been really slacking when it comes to advanced campaign settings. They open with the campaign settings like they would be adding more stuff, but they stopped adding more stuff and it just turned into like boring stuff. They haven't added anything really significant in a while. Ambush arms have retreated and are said to be wiped out, will no longer attempt to withdraw from battle. Okay, okay. They fix this again, it's like the third fix, right? I think there's a third fix for this. Fix an issue where Chaos Warhounds exhibit erratic movement and become stuck behind corners in domination. Battle mobs. Pathfinding has been improved to ensure they have smoothly towards their targets. Move smooth towards their targets. There's an issue where large AI attacking armies on certain maps encounter challenges reforming due to a constrained playable space. In these situations, AI armies will now bypass the reform phase and proceed with a more focused attack. If there ever was a copium moment, it's when we're reading the AI fixes. Fix an issue where the AI remained idle during ambushes when the enemy was hidden, stalking. The Bedley AI will attempt to distribute its units across multiple targets to minimize blobbing in land battles. Fix an issue where the AI seemed idle while crossing the river waiting for reinforcement. Now when 90% of the units have crossed, they advance to attack without delay. Dwarf Ancestor Ghosts with shields now have the correct missile blockchains, 55%. Outbreak Unique Hippogriff Mount Tempest now correctly uses Borderlook faction colors. Adjust the size of feral ice bears to match their intended design. Man, when you read these fixes, patch after patch after patch, there's literally hundreds of things that can be fixed in every update if they just keep working on the game. At some point they'll stop and there'll be like thousands of these small little things unresolved. Most people will not even know that a lot of these things are issues unless they played the game quite a bit. Fix an issue where certain content effects, such as those used by Skaven units and Vampire Coast spells, were incorrectly applied despite being intended to be ignored by unit attributes like even to content effects. The leadership benefit from the courage attribute has been normalized to +4, regardless of whether it comes from a card unit, previously for a silver cast and +8 for units. This reinstates an early improvement from Warhammer 2 recent DLC. That's a old start that doesn't have any place in the game anymore, if you ask me. The quest ability Soul Binding is not correctly classified as possibility. The Doombringer so far Taurus will not correctly have the Scary Away ability. There's all an issue where the manual fire orders from the Iron Demon and Drake and Mortar were being ignored, even though the UI indicated the orders were active. Woolhart's Witch Hunter, Dr. Harry Mahal, now benefits from abilities Tools of Judgment and Grim Resolve. What? I don't remember if he was missing the skills or they didn't work. Animations. Adjusted the collision box on the steam tank and lane ship to allow both units to more reliably hit from the rear. Fix an issue with the Kepler Guards Regiments Renown where the left sword floated during the knockdown animation. Fix animation issue for the Science of Matlan where their speeds appear to snap when transitioning from combat to idle. There's also a visual issue where the iridescent horror helmet disappeared during idle animations for both the lore of Zinch and the lore of Metal. The Golden Griffin Regiment Renown applies animation when casting the bound spell Searing Doom. What? Guys, remind me, what unit is this? This is the Zinch unit, it's not the Emperor unit, right? There's a lot of change, okay. An asset aside this environment, asset aside the playable area of the Black Forest Siege map has been grounded to ensure full player immersion. This existing map, not the Siege map, know your place asset. Okay, I don't have to read all this. Oh my god, look at this. A tower on the Hell Pit Siege map has been marked as destructible to align with the intended design, ensuring the complete destruction of all towers on the east side of the wall. There is the every siege map has towers that are indestructible because they placed them wrong. They started fixing this apparently. So it was not intended; it was bugged. But every map has this issue. Help is siege, wish it is dead. Oh my god, face. Are you fucking serious, man? Every scam in siege is the same, man. What the fuck? I've been playing Warhammer 3. The sea hasn't. What the fuck? I need a drink for this, man. He asked, which Skaven city is that? Which Skaven city is that? There's only one Skaven city. Fucking hell, man. That's like... There's no fucking words for this. Cheers. Shot number 6. Oh my god. Can you imagine there are people out there that think there's more than one Skaven siege city? It's not your fault, face. It's not your fault, face. Like, I envy your ignorance. I truly do. I envy your ignorance. The patch is gonna be online tomorrow. Improve the wording on an instructive tooltip in the game settings for better clarity. Audio. Localization. Blood pack. Fix an issue where Oxiol could be dismembered. Yeah, that's odd, because, you know, the Legend Lords are immortal, right? Okay, I put caps on some multiple battles factions like Kislev. I guess there's a Patrick involved. That's how we do it, these things. Don't nerf the single entities. How? Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Anybody here, do not play Warhammer 3 until they release the new DLC. Go play something else. Do not do it, boys. Don't do it. Warhammer 3 is in a barely acceptable state right now. And the only thing that will justify playing it again for somebody who played it for over 3,000 hours is a new DLC. You can't stop me. Are you sure, Pepegan? Race and balance. I got more guns than you, American. You win there, bro. You win. I got 0 guns. John Jam says I'm gonna play it, get annoyed, and install it just because I'm a rebel. Well, guys, if you're serious about playing Warhammer 3, coming from somebody who has 3.3 thousand hours in this game, may I recommend an amazing faction called Vampire Counts? You're going to unlock these powerful Bloodline Lords, and there's a chance you might not get Dark Majesty, Tactician, Determined, and you might even have some fun. Race and balance, as ever, special thanks to our exalted creators. Who? As well as Catholic Alcoholic. This guy again. There's a Helman Gors campaign that's going to be happening possibly this year. I still have to play Skyrim and finish Baldur's Gate 3. But there's a Helman Gors that will be playing this year. It'll be with house rules. We have to make it interesting. Skyrim, you finish it. little bit more Skyrim was because the last sellout stream. I expect Skyrim in late November or December. Since I'm not planning to do another sellout stream this year. We'll have a sellout stream next year. We had like 4 sellout streams a year, we'll put it down to 3 now. I really don't feel like a sellout stream in December. But we're probably gonna play sell campaigns in December though. Skyrim, you mean blacksmithing to max and quit? Blacksmithing? Alchemy, man. Alchemy. I'm an alchemist, you know. I don't really care what we're doing in Skyrim as long as we can enjoy the atmosphere of the game for a couple of days. I'm hoping we played for about 3 to 5 days. Hopefully not more than that. But I might install a mod for this time go. Anybody knows any mods about really sexy Khajiits? Asking for a friend, of course. Anyways, where were we?
Oh my god. Have you seen that shit?
Oh, God damn it, Tom Manager. Your feels weird man is the worst. This time around, we're shifting the multiple meta slightly by introducing some small and also small changes to just about every faction in the game. These tweaks aim to correct outlying units in various rosters and bring them back in line with what both we and the community expect to see. Beyond this, our aim is to keep our experience feeling fresh by shifting the faction meta around slightly. Hey, Curse Spirit! For anyone who missed our note at the start of today's update notes due to formatting issues with our website, we need to separate some of the news. Okay. Let's check the next change here. I mean, this patch seems rather weak, but there's some really important stuff that we've been hoping for years. So it does look good, but waiting for so long for this shit, it's bad, man. If this shit was released last year, it would have been amazing. Complex stat changes. Encourage. So it's gonna be fixed now at +4.
Oh
Yoo-hoo!
my god. Have you seen
Hey,
that
Charu.
shit?
Still here?
What the hell?
This is a rather weak stat. Rather weak stat. This is like a multiple stat. So, create chariot mass. Review the mass of chariot type units across the game, placing each chariot in a specific weight bracket. We found that chariot mass was widely inconsistent. No shit. So the collision interactions should now be a bit more uniform. Since there are quite a lot of changes here, we listed the brackets we use below. Small chariots are now 1000 mass. Goblin move chariot, okay, okay. Medium chariots are Itemization chariot 1500, okay. Monster chariots 2000. It's the mass of the chariot, so they can actually deliver brutal charges. Chao. It's basically the collision damage. This is probably gonna be the biggest change here. The Gorbish chariot having more mass, and here the gods need to keep getting buffs. I wonder if the monster single entity chariots is also Grom and Wolfric. So, Chad, you only come back here during Jedi time and Hopium. We addressed a bug where flying units could be observed to be slowing down when charging from a flying set to the ground. To resolve this issue, we increased the charge bonus on most flying units to exceed their flight speed. What? So the syncing of sync animation made the charge worse, and they made it better. As a result, flying units charging along the ground will not benefit from better impact due to their enhanced speed. But yeah, that actually makes sense, because a lot of these flying units are really fast, and the speed's supposed to be affecting collision damage. Makes you wonder how hard the Vara guys will hit now. They're not one of the faster flying units, but they should be hitting harder. Known issues. All units that use the collision type capsule have a problem where missiles can pass through the top 5 to 10% of their collision box and deal no damage. Articulated vehicles. Oh my god, articulated vehicles, I hate this term. Such as chariots can hit multiple times by projectile, resulting in double or even triple damage being dealt them. Basically, if a cannonball hits a chariot, they can take crazy damage. It's not intended? Wow. So cannonballs hitting chariots for double, triple damage is not intended. A unit docked on a wall that is also partially docked on a great house may have its line of sight blocked and could be unable to shoot. Well, that's been an issue in Warhammer 3 throughout. So what is this? It's a multiplayer patch, huh? Beastman. Gorgon got 20 more armor. Hell yeah! That's the red one, huh? That thing has good hunger as well, so 20 more armor, that's nice. Pestigors have been nerfed. What the fuck, man? What the fuck, man? This unit was okay. What the fuck, man? They got more expensive and lower attack and armor. What the fuck, man? Goddamn esports. Razgor chariots has their damage and anti-infantry buffed. I don't know, man. These units were all doing a really good damage against infantry. Why they get more? That's strange. Bestigors got faster with a stronger charge. Okay, I like this. Sagor has a higher explosion radius on his projectile. The Eye of More Sleep, the regiment now Sagor also got buffed. Bretonia. They nerfed the Grill Guardian's HP. Honestly, their HP is extremely high, so I don't think this does anything. Questing Knights got base weapon damage buff from 12 to 14. What the fuck is this, man? Who the fuck decides that an armor piercing unit will get 2 more regular damage? I would like to see where they get this information. Who is giving them information? Like what? It's such a bizarre thing. Royal Hyper Knights lower HP. Peasant mobs are more expensive. Guild Knights lower HP. So they nerfed the Bretonian Cavalry. I think Guild Guardians, Royal Hyper Knights, and the Guild Knights, they all have a lot of HP. That's fine. Considering the number of their entities and this faction have access to life magic, they're super overpowered. So this doesn't do anything. But this is bizarre. Even from multiplayer perspective. Chaos Dwarves, Hobgoblin, Wolfrides got better range. Okay, that's okay. I like that. Lamasso has more HP. Finally, man. Lamasso has such shit HP. This looks better. I mentioned this several times. Really shit HP on Lamasso. So Lamasso HP gonna increase. The regular Hobo match also range increase. Lamasso also has a 25 spell resistance on top of extra HP. It's a nice buff for the Lamasso. Because if you have only 5000 HP, you're vulnerable to even like Spirit Leech. Let alone some other more powerful stuff. Like the Nurgle one. What's the Nurgle one called again? The Nurgle one is scarier Spirit Leech.
I live to serve Ariel.
Rancid Visitations, I think. Yeah. So you're really vulnerable to this if your HP is shit. This is a strong spell. Kadai Destroy has the collision attacks. Oh my god. So it only works in our heads. Oh my god. Imagine being an absolute monster, a colossal monster, and you have no collision attacks. What the fuck is the point of that? CA, what the fuck, man? Don't even write this shit down. Don't even write this shit down. Just enable them and shut the fuck up! What the fuck, man? So, none of these colossal monsters had collision attacks until this in the last patch. That is horrible. It worked in my head. Stuff like this you should not write down, it's embarrassing. Just enable them and be quiet. That is fucked up. Demons of Chaos. The Ghost Slayer needs like another big mechanic. Demon Prince for the Voice of Chaos also have arrived in Demons of Chaos roster now too. These lords are. I guess this is more for multiplayer. Doom Firewalls are cheaper, Crown Hellborn is cheaper. Any other stats that really matter here? Cold One Knights. They lost one attack but again 2 defense. Ooh, shit, another big health buff for the Cold One Knights. You can guys imagine the Cold One Knights had some of the worst health on any cavalry in the game. And that was before they got a health buff. And now they gain another health buff. This is nice. This is a good air buff. Better for the air than the player. Like, I think this is pretty significant. Like, this is just a good trade-off. But how did they decide they're gonna lose one attack? Scourge, Runner, Harpoon guns don't deal more damage to account for the fact they are a single entity. Whatever that means. So Demon Slayer has been nerfed. Lost 5 attack and 5 defense. So it looks like the flavor of the month of the previous DLC is dissipating. It's almost gone. New DLCs arrived. People have spent their money. And now they're gonna be ready for the new shit, for the new power creep. So now it's time to nerf the previous power creep. This is kind of like a big nerf if they drop both at 5. I think these units are barely acceptable in campaign. But it looks like they might have been overused in the multiplayer, so they have to nerf them. These units are barely acceptable in the campaign, if you ask me. They only work with good gear. Bolt throwers. In order to account for the increased number of bolt throwers that we added to this unit previously, we have increased the health of each individual bolt thrower. Yeah, they fucked up. They just doubled the health instead of just put the proper health accordingly. So this was a fuck up. This was a fuck up, but this is really messed up. This is fucked up, man. This is fucked up. This is a massive nerf to the bolt throwers. Even bolt throwers were average with 13, now back to 18. What the fuck? This is a massive nerf to the bolt throwers. This was a bug that they forgot to fix. Well, this makes no sense. The bolt throwers will take a way longer to reload. As 8 of them shooting. It kind of makes sense in a base environment like multiplayer, but when you put an engineer in the army and rank 9, it should still be fine, but it's still a massive nerf. Why use bolt throwers and use cannons? That's my policy in campaign. If after this nerf. Availability. What availability? You can get away with quarterless before you get cannons. Scalded Guard gets a 10 more range. This is the Steam Gun Iron Drakes. Flame Cannons, another range buff. Hopefully they fix the projectile so they disappear at that range. Flame Cannon is one of those units that received the most changes over the years. What is happening with gyros? They can no longer fire while moving. They lost ammo. They lost damage. Looks like a massive nerf on the gyros. Massive nerf on the gyros. They also nerfed the brimstone guns too. The brimstone guns are less nerf compared to regular gyros. King Hammer, they got so they buffed this guy's shield because they assigned a wrong shield, but they nerfed shield on the other two guys. Demigriff Knights have increased HP and leadership. It's a big chunk of health increase, considering 32 entities. Halberds got actually more defense and increased the damage. So it looks like Demigriff Halberds got buffed. I mean, not a big buff, but the HP alone will be noticeable. So they can tell you it's a quick past of the questing knights. Witch Hunter got 5 more armor. Archers got more range. They buffed Volkmar on his chariot. Flagellants went up from 40 to 41 melee attack. I guess the OCD guy didn't see this. The steam tank can no longer fire its hull-mounted cannon melee. Okay. Steam collision has been altered so they cannot possibly hit in the rear. Same for the lane ship. The mount long causes fear. Jet Lion has more damage. Jet Lion has more damage. Grom the Punch. Ooh. Massive damage increase to Grom. Massive damage increase to Grom. They lowered the cleave on the Rogue Idol, which in some cases it's a massive buff. Nothing for the Wyvern. Wyvern really needs some more defense and health. High Elves. Phoenix Guard at Immune Psychology. So not only Black Orcs, but Phoenix Guard now Immune Psychology. Well, Chosen will get feared and terrified. The Regiment Renown has also immune to contact effects. Teclis has more damage on his Arcane Phoenix. Ranger's got a damage buff. That's actually significant considering their numbers. It's a 10% damage buff. Warlines of Krace has more anti-infantry. They're also above the Lion Chariots of Krace. Hopefully their skill works now. Tyrannoc Chariots have buffed their range attack. The Red Phoenix is also buffed. They nerfed the Exalted Hero of Khorne 5 attack. The Blood Thrones have been buffed. I guess depends who they fight, but it still does look like it's buffed. Same for the Blood Shrines of Khorne. And the Skull Cannon. It looks like I don't know. This one here, it's like makes me wonder why the fuck they're doing these things here if they reduce this thing here. All the Gore Beasts have more damage. Forsaken of Khorne has more health. Forsaken more health, hell yeah, it's about time. Forsaken lacked health if you ask me. Bloodthirster have more damage than Anti-Large. Kislev. Tsarina speed has been nerfed. Only run speed and charge speed though. Frost Worm has collision attacks. Streltsy Regiment has had a cleave before. Heavy Wolf Slays units now within large instead of very large, which should bring in knockback opponents in line with the chase of similar tier. So the mass got changed a bit. Elemental Bear lost a little bit of cleave, but has to do collision. I can't believe this. All of these mass units didn't have the collision until now. Holy shit. Carnosaurus Brax are primal insects now. Red Crested Skinks have been buffed. They're cheaper and stronger. Damage increase, defense increase, charge increase. Nakai now grants all units in his army Woodsman attribute in campaign. Nakai Sacred Warrior Wonder skill now grants all units in his army Wang deployment attribute in campaign. Other attributes Wang deployment Woodsman causes terror. Missile damage from 15 to 25%. So a small Nakai buff. Kotal has collision attacks. Mammoth has a higher charge speed, which makes its collision damage higher. Berserkers have more charge bonus and walk speed. Like, this is fucked up, because they say walk speed here, but we don't know about the walk speed, because when we mouse over speed, it doesn't say the walk speed. It's a style we can't see in the game, but they're showing it here. Like, what the fuck? When you mouse over speed, it should tell you walk speed, run speed, charge speed. Chaos Frost Dragon Regiment Renown has a frenzy and also ignore contact effects. They have significantly above the range on the Marauder Ice Wolf's chariots. Which should not even be a range attack, should be just fire at will. Should be primarily a melee unit with a range attack happening, whatever you're doing. Brutes of the Hound. These are the Regiment of Renown. They have 20 more armor. Damn, makes them special as a Regiment of Renown. They have the Marauders Berserkers have a very high health. They have over 10,000 health, so 20 armor is significant. The Fetzo green name of the Norska has even more health, 1,000 more health. Lower splash, which I think it's a buff. So they buffed their special characters from mechanic. Azek the Mess Keeper, oh my god, he didn't have physical resistance. Well, he was a demon. What the hell? The nerve the Exalted Hero of Nurgle attacked by 10. Double the charge bonus on the plague drones, at least the range one. Oh my god, oh my god. What the fuck? Rot Knights getting buffed? What the fuck? Nobody used them? Rot Knights is like one of the best units of the game. Look, just like, bam! 20% more mass. Bam! 20 more armor. What the shit? Oh my god. This is a elite cavalry with regeneration and exceptional performance. Imagine Demigryphs just better with regeneration. And they buffed them. Man, some infantry gonna get trampled if this works. So they adjust some of these stats according to the unit is supposed to be. Tamarkan is a little bit faster turn, but lower cleave. Tamarkan is absurd on the Bubolos. Toad Dragon had collision attacks. Oh my god, man, it only works in my head. So, guys, think about this for a second. Warhammer 3 has been out for years. Collision damage happened even before. And you had units like Dread Saurian in the game. It was doing no collision damage. It only worked in our head. It was just using shit cleave instead of just trampling everything with its mass. The level of incompetence here is just astounding. They gave another 1000 health to the Great Unclean One. I like this. The Forsaken got a health buff. I like this as well. Doom Flares got buffed. Doom Wheels got buffed again. Doom Wheels need more buffs. What the fuck? There's no way they buffed regular Doom Flares. Plague Moon Sensor Bearers have finally received a significant buff. That's how you do buffs. Look at these guys. Not +1, but +4. That's a big buff for the Sense Bearers. If only they were not tier 5, but tier 4 instead. The Doomflayers were really performing really well against non-infantry, like chariots and cavalry. So this change makes sense. I've seen a Doomflayer literally bullying a unit of cavalry. That was like off. The men is strong against infantry, but weaker against other stuff. Yes, Termolo.
Oh my god. Have you seen that shit? Holy shit. What the hell?
Slanesh. Oh man, buffs for Slanesh. Oh man, I guess they nerfed them too much over, so they have to buff them now. Hard Signal Slanesh, Demon Cavalry got buffed, more damage. Seeker Chariots, man. It's a big buff on this unit. A really big buff on the Exalt Seeker Chariot. But what's the point of it if it doesn't have attack animations? Somebody play a Slanesh Companion and tell me about the Exalt Seeker Chariot. It looks like Exalt Seeker Chariot there's a huge buff right now. Maybe there was something else there. Nakari also got buffed. It's mostly going to be noticeable against single entities and high quality lower end units. This is strange. This went down from 6 to 2. They're causing damage, but they're not killing anybody. Oh, I guess they're gonna be killing more, but causing less damage. Yeah, they nerfed the HP on the Finstall Nash. That sucks. Tinin was performing well. Cetra on the Chariot of the Gods has Terror. More damage. That's not a very significant amount, but I guess it'll still be okay. Arc and Creep Ghouls got more HP now. This is a big change with Creep Ghouls. Creep Ghouls have triple armor now and more health. Creep Ghouls gonna be spooky now if they come out of nowhere. They buffed the AP on the Skeleton Archer Chariots. So Hex Rates have received 10 leadership and 7 defense. That's big. Herald of Zinch and a Burning Chariot got buffed. Listen Horror as well. Burning Chariot of Zinch got buffed too. Vampire Coast, Carronades, Mortars, and got more leadership. Queen Bass doubled armor. The cannon got more health. It's actually really easy to destroy, so this is a good change. They buffed damage on our next assault spite. Wow. 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 Sirens, 5 more leadership. Basically what happens, Ramiel, you would fire on their artillery and they would receive a lot of damage in the short term, will cause them to crumble. And if the base leadership is too low, they will not recover from that crumble. So basically just damage them and they destroy themselves from the crumbling damage. So this actually makes sense, this change. The living artillery is much higher PNDS to destroy compared to the undead artillery because of this. Oh my god, the zombie dragons got more health. What the hell? What the hell? Zombie dragons only one of the best dragons. 300 more health, just like that. So even better regeneration healing on them. Increase the mass on the Morse engine. So leadership increase on the rates. Creep Ghouls one of the bigger boss on the vampires. More health than armor. That's a big change. Creep Ghouls were shit before Warhammer 3. In Warhammer 3 they actually made good, and now they are like on par probably with the Empire power creep. Black Coach. Oh my god, this shit again. I've been saying for years this unit is more damage. More damage, more damage, more damage. They give it barely any more damage. It's like, for single entity, considering what the original damage is still not enough. But still gonna be a change here. But this at least is good enough to at least try to use them. This is a big thing as well. Extra 10 leadership. Sartorial, the Everwatcher got buffed. Kolok has magical attacks. They nerfed all the exalted heroes by 5 attack. All the Forsaken got more health. What the hell? What the what the what the why they buffing Ancient Dreamer, man? That's all some of the most powerful things in the game. They got 1000 more health and more damage. What the fuck? Ancient Dreamer got 3 more attack and more damage. These things are crazy. Does this mean they buffed Durto as well? Dreaming got 5 more attack and more damage. Malevolent Dreaming more attack, more damage. What the fuck? Like, Durto used to be like one of the strongest lords even in multiplayer, and now it's come to this, they have to buff him again. Oh my god. 11,000 health almost without anything. I gotta get bloody. I gotta get bloody. 20% more health. More health on the skill tree. Hunt. Throw the unclean. What the shit? 8 more defense. What the fuck? The Ancient Dreamer are all the some of the most powerful things in this universe. I can't play another Wood Elf this campaign this year. I would the people would just judge too hard. Wild Rangers had ability that only worked in the trees. They lost 8 attack. Oh, big nerf. That's a big nerf, 8 attack. They received 14 teams to do. Okay, okay. They turned them into sword masters. It only works now when the Terror unit is nearby. So if the Terror unit is nearby, it'll get anti-large as well. I like this, but holy fuck, what the fuck is this? $59 to 42? What? The ability better be good for that big nerf. Let's see, they adjusted some magic costs. The miasma of the Tomb Kings has gotten more expensive. Kraken Pool is cheaper. That's the Vampire Coast ability to slow. The Dread Terran spell range got lowered. This is the explosion that summons Stone Vermin. This is, you know, proper range. This is what I call multiplayer range. Plain Signuing, don't care. Black Whirlwind, it's cool effect, don't care. Medal of Gorok is cheaper. That one is getting cheaper and cheaper. Nobody's even casting it up. Arcane of Fortune is 14 now. This was a very expensive spell, but they used to cause some damage. I didn't even cast it in Warhammer 3. Fire Convocation is cheaper. Tempest is cheaper. Curse of a Shoot is cheaper. They lower the cost of Hellhammer. Orcast is down by 2. So Fleshly Abundance can only affect 4 units now. Instead of affecting everybody. That's a nerf, but it's still powerful even for 4 entities. This was extremely powerful, because if you do this when you need it, you just win the battle. You can't lose. Especially if you have single entities. Pavane of Slanesh got nerfed by 2 power. It's a very expensive overcast as well. When the Warhammer 3 Magic was released, it was just more of the same stuff, but expensive. And now they lower the cost, and now they increase the cost again. Living Magic now gives 15% spell mastery, and also gives silence to the enemy. I guess makes sense for multiplayer. Wild Tide is down to 7. 3 deduction on the upgrade one. That's the Lord of the Wild. Vigor Restoration from Growth has been nerfed 5 times. Even with that -1 is okay. But why from -5 to -1? Why not from -5 to -2? That's a drastic nerf. -1 will still restore some vigor, but will not be noticeable. At -2 would be noticeable. Well, -5 is stupid. Piercing Bolts of Burning got cheaper. That's the bombardment from the fire. About the Wind Blast. The Wind Blast had shit damage. Needed buffs. Banishment is cheaper. I don't know what even it means for the Gehenna. I guess they're just gonna move differently. Curse of Years also applies silence now. Let me see if I see any of these things that caught my eyes here. I like the local set at 55. Make one of those less used ones more interesting, but Virulence 1 is hard to pass. This is now the Guardians of Wildwood. If a terror unit is in range, they get 10 attack and 25% damage. Damn. That's a way better ability than just being working while they're in the forest on the battlefield. And they used to be just anti-large and defense against large stuff. So they're basically anti-infantry specialists like greatswords. They still have high enough stats, especially with skills and experience. But they can also turn into an anti-large unit if the large unit has... I mean, pretty much any has terror. This, if it works, is actually quite powerful buff. I'm guessing this means the enemy terror unit. So the Wild Rangers are definitely better now. They also nerfed the Vigor Restoration on this as well. Yeah, 10% was crazy. 1 is just barely. Arc of Sword is supposed to be doing more damage now. Winter Crown also gives 24 defense when you use them. All this chat stuff thing is like just weird. I mean, the stats up and down is like it's nice that they make these changes, but the thing with the items, adding those items, the cool items, that's probably was the highlight of this patch. And of course, the Ogre mercenaries, you can put more from Cavalry now in the army. This patch would have been amazing if it was the list last year. But better late than never, right? Anyways, boys, I'm not playing any Warhammer 3 campaign anytime soon. You can expect a start of a fresh Warhammer 3 campaign probably in the second week of the next month. Second week of next month. And that's gonna be it for tonight. A Bubba game that I've been playing is getting updated tonight, so I'm gonna get drunk and play some Bubba games. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.